I grew up in the church. For as long as I can remember, my parents would take me to church. When I was about 6 years old, I heard a message about the gospel, and I wanted to get rid of my sin so that I can be closer to God. So I walked up and got saved, went into the room and signed the paper saying I was now a Christian. I got baptized soon after that, and my life was pretty typical for a kid. But then something would happen. I'd fight with my sister. I would take an extra cookie. I might even have been disobedient to my parents, and I felt bad about my sin. So about a month later, I would hear a message about the gospel, and I would get up and I would walk down the aisle and I would go get saved again. And I would talk to the deacon again and become a Christian for another time. This happened for about 6 years. Off and on, I would get saved because of my sin. And then something happened when I was about a senior in high school. I went to a summer camp, and the camp speaker talked about how once we become a child of God, we're always a child of God. He's not going to leave us or forsake us. We are eternally secure in Him. Security is something that I was longing for, and when I heard this, my whole life changed. At that moment, I was about 18 years old, and I felt God calling me into full-time service. Full-time service for me at that time, I didn't know what that meant. But through some people in my life in the church, they came to me and they said, "Scott, you should think about working with the youth ministry." I'd never thought about that before, but I tried it and I loved it, and I've been in it ever since. So now I'm different because of God's Word, and I want to help people know that God's Word is true. And one of the truest things about God's Word is that we can be secure in Him.